When you think about it, it's so interesting. You see the cherubims, the embroidery that the Israelites did. They embroidered the cherubims into the fine twined linen, that expensive, the Hebrew word is sheesh, very fine twine. They don't even make it today. But notice the veil as well. I mean, you think about how everything was done to detail. These were the only places. And the cherubims, when we read about it in the Bible, talks about the highest angelic order as far as their supremacy. You could go all the way back to Adam and Eve when we talked about the very sword of the fire that divided them. Isn't this just beautiful, just looking upon it?
That's right. And the angel of the Lord encampeth around about those that fear God. Right? God's protection. Angels watching over me. God's angels standing there guard. One of the covering cherubs.
That's right.
Lucifer is mentioned in the scriptures as being a covering cherub.
He was.
He might have been one of the ones standing right before the throne of God who then turned his back on God.
That's right.
And so if we think that, hey, I'll never turn away from God, you know, we don't know our own hearts. If Lucifer standing right before the throne of God could, we need to be humble before him and fear the Lord with a respectful, reverent fear to the Lord all the time. And they're just bowed in reverent awe of how this whole plan of God, the mercy and the law and all of it just blends together.
It is. It's all interconnected and it works in God's mind, in perfect harmony and design. It's kind of like the notes do to a melody of a song. They're perfect, and that's why this tabernacle, with everything put together, it's a wonderful redemptive work, and we can see it also in Messiah.
Yeah, I don't think we appreciate as much the work that God has the angels do in our behalf. In heaven, we'll see how many times they were there for us.
That's right. Bible mentions one more time too about you know, the excellent strength and doing thy commandments, hearkening unto the voice of the word, encampeth, and the angelic creatures. If we were to pull back the spiritual curtain, goodness, we can only imagine the angelic activity that would be going on before us.
As well as the opposite side, just as Lucifer turned from God, he brought 1/3 of the angels with him.
That's right.
And they're out there also, and they're constantly trying to tempt us. But for every evil angel, there's 2 good angels, right? It's only 1/3. So 2/3 are still on God's side. And so we have more on God's side. There are more on God's side. And even just with God, that's more than enough and more than a majority. But we can't forget that there is a battle, a spiritual battle, a great controversy going on for our very lives.
That's right.
You know those cartoons with a good angel on one shoulder and a bad angel on the other side, whispering on our ears? That's reality. That is what happens. That's why we get these thoughts. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? This is right. This battle is going on, and we need to choose, make the right choice based on God's word.
We do. That's our guiding light, isn't it? And we get to the laver to bring us up here.